The first one is what? 11 onwards, right? Yes. 11. Question number 11 onwards. So, what did you find out? 11th question is? It's a collocation based question. Isn't it? What do you call to it? It's a collocation. What do you mean by collocation? So collocation means association. One word that associates with the other word that makes up another meaning. Isn't it? Like here you would find out the words are given called capital letters, pot, boat, coffee, bird, magic. Isn't it? And the options are given which is called as a black, less, feather, table. So which one will go better? Black. Yes. So when you talk about black spot, you know that the black spot. So blackboard, where we can talk about the writing, and we also say black coffee. We take black coffee. We also talk about blackboard, glow, right on glow, and black magic. Isn't it? So these are all have a collocation and have a different meaning. Isn't it? Now coming to the next question. The next question is what? These are the collocation based questions, right? So next is called as the question number 12. So question number 12 means nothing but a kind of analogy based question. Do you understand the meaning of analogy? That makes a kind of a relationship between the two capital letter words, right? And ask you to identify two different types of question types. One is called as identify the option that exhibit the same kind of a relationship. That exhibit the same kind of a relationship. Let's say that the question which is given here is called as a lugubrious. What do you mean by lugubrious? That's something called as a feeling sad. Now, mirth will be what? Happiness. Now, lugubrious and mirth presents what kind of a relationship? What kind of a relationship? Lugubrious means sad. Mirth means happiness. So in that case, lugubrious and mirth presents the relationship which is called as an opposite or antonym. Isn't it? Now what is the instruction given? The instruction is given called as identify the option that does not exhibit the same kind of a relationship. It means we need to identify one of the options that does not exhibit the antonym. Isn't it? Does not exhibit the opposite relationship. So we find out the options called as a taciturnity loquacious. Taciturnity loquacious. What do you mean by taciturnity? The meaning of taciturnity is called as a reserve. Right? Taciturnity means reserve. Means who doesn't speak much. Whereas loquacious is called as a talkative. Right? Somebody who talks a lot. Now in that case both are called as antonym to each other. Can it be the answer? No. Does not exhibit the same relationship. So second one is called as a frequent rare. Frequent का मतलब means often, right? Rare is also called as often, not always. So frequent and rare both present the same meaning, right? So will it be the answer? No. How come? Frequent का मतलब means most of the time. Rare का मतलब तो sometimes no, but not always. Frequent का मतलब always. No, no. So both are indicating what? Same kind of a meaning.
Frequent means one which happens many times.
Okay. Yeah. So in that case, you can say that frequent is called as a most of the time. Rare is called as a not most of the time. We can consider it in that sense. Right? Very good. So can we say that okay, if this is not, then can it be loyal treacherous? Loyal means what? Somebody who is honest, right? Or trustworthy. Whereas treacherous is called as somebody who is a betrayer, right? So who betray others. So antonym to each other. Now in that case, similar and identical both are called as a synonym to each other. Right? I just want to see that how many just say yes to my answers. Right? Who doesn't make the contrast? Yes, ask.
What did you say?
I said that, but I just want to see how many of you are going with the flow of the water. Right? So how many of you are not contrasting me? Even if I am giving you the wrong answer, so some say yes, some say no. Right? That's what we just want to see, whether you are listening or hearing. Is it? Are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening? So I find out that most of students are hearing and some are listening. Do you understand the difference? Right. So you must hear. Right. Let's listen. Now, coming to the next one. Question number 13. 13 is called as orchids are gas plants which are difficult to gas in tropical climates. What would be the answer? Exotic can grow. Will it be exotic and grow? Will it be exotic and grow? Yes sir or no sir? Yes. What's your answer?
I think the first one might be.
Ephemeral and prune. Ephemeral means what? What do you mean by ephemeral? So orchids are ephemeral plants which are difficult to prune in tropical climates. So ephemeral means not permanent. Which are not permanent plants. Exotic growth. Why not we go for the one? Now tell her answer. What is the meaning of ephemeral? No idea. Yes? So what do you mean by prune? Destroy. It doesn't have the resistance. It doesn't exist. Okay, let me point out, if I talk about ephemeral can be called as a kind of a permanent. Right. So if you say orchids are permanent plants which are difficult to exist in tropical climates. So doesn't make to the sense of the sentence. The sentence wants to convey that orchids are unique in nature, right? Unique in plants, and that generally not produces in everywhere, right? That produces in a very specific places, isn't it? Now on the basis of that, if I talk about congenial and breed, congenial means suitable, right? Now if I say orchids are suitable plants which are difficult to breed in tropical climates. Now one side you are saying suitable, the other side you are saying that difficult to breed, right? So ubiquitous and cultivate. Ubiquitous means present everywhere. So ubiquitous means pervasive. P-E-R-V-S-S-I-V. Pervasive or present everywhere. So if you are saying that orchids are present ubiquitous plants, it's something called as a present everywhere. But at the same time, how would you say that which are cultivated to, in tropical climates? Because you are contrasting your own point, isn't it? So hence we can say option C also cannot be the answer. B is the answer, right? So B.
So
Ephemeral, I think temporary, right? Not that permanent. Right. So next is called as a question. Question number 14. Let's go for the 14 number question. What does it say? Question number 14. It asks you to choose the most appropriate replacement for that word. Replacement, most appropriate. Now, if I talk about Louis Mountbatten's spontaneous decision to announce the date of Indian independence on his own initiative was a bombshell. With the creditors of the House of Commons, Downing Street, Buckingham Palace, no one had suspected that Mountbatten was ready to ring the curtain down. Ring the curtain down means to close or to stop. To stop something so blithering. So it means हड़बड़ाहट से या तो जल्दी से, right? So curtain down, so blithering on Britain's Indian adventure, right? It's something called as you could say it is trying to tell that India got its independence. India got its independence, and after that what happened? You will find out that the Britishers tried to stop everything. Right or not? Britishers tried to stop everything, and here you will find out that Louis Mountbatten. So, whose continuous decision was what? Now to stop everything, suspend everything, and Mountbatten was ready to close down so quickly. So, on the basis of the context, we can say quickly on Britain's Indian adventure, right? So, in that case, here we have couple of options which will then replace the word called as a blithering, which is written in italic manner. Got my point? So in that case, if I talk about the word called as a precipitously, can it be the answer? Can it be the answer precipitously? No, precipitous. That's something called as slowly. You can say that rain occurs that slowly. Harrowingly, it's called as to drag, right? So ludicrous, dragging, like tractor. हम कहते हैं ना tractor that drag. Arrow. So ludicrous, which is known as a ludo. Ludo means called as a fool, right? Ludicrous means foolishly. Now, can it be called as a foolishly? He closed down everything? No. So can we say desperately? Yes. Desperately he closed down everything, because you can't call Louis Mountbatten the foolish one, right? Or dragging something which is also not justified. And desperately means something which you are quickly doing everything close, right? So hastily or desperately. So next one is what is the next question? Am I clear so far? And understood? Now coming to the next one, the next question is all about the grammatical error. So question number 15. Delhi B, CGE. What does it ask? It asks us to go for the identify the sentence or sentences or parts of sentences that is or are correct in terms of grammar and their uses. Isn't it? Now in that case, and choose the most appropriate option. So if I go for the question number 15, we need to find out grammatical correct sentences. So do you think that option C is correct? Option B is correct? Option A is correct? Then we find out option D and D both are correct. How? Now if you look into the first option, where it is clearly stated to a century fraught. To a century fraught. To a century fraught. Right. So in this case, what do you find out? To a century fraught is a introductory phrase. ग्रामर में अगर आपका कोई सेंटेंस इंट्रोडक्टरी फ्रेज से शुरू होता है, उसके बाद और एक सब्जेक्ट और एक वर्ब और एक ऑब्जेक्ट पॉइंट आउट होता है, तो आपको इंट्रोडक्टरी फ्रेज के बाद कॉमा देना होगा या तो सेमीकोलन देना होगा, राइट? सो इन दैट केस टू अ सेंचुरी फ्रॉड इज नथिंग बट एन इंट्रोडक्टरी फ्रेज. व्हाई डू वी कॉल इट इंट्रोडक्टरी फ्रेज? क्योंकि सेंटेंस तो वहीं से शुरू हुआ है ना, and it doesn't carry the verb, right? So and after that you will find out the subject is what? The subject is called as a Gandhi, isn't it? Gandhi is the subject, no? Before that it is an introductory phrase. To century fraught with the violence, Gandhi offered an alternative. So you need to put the comma or semicolon. To a century fraught with the violence. Violence के बाद आपको comma या तो semicolon देना होगा. Got my point? Otherwise it doesn't make the sentence order, क्योंकि सेंटेंस में होता क्या है? सब्जेक्ट होते हैं, तो सब्जेक्ट का क्या है? गांधी है, राइट? सो गांधी ऑफर्ड एन अल्टरनेटिव, isn't it? The verb is offered. So गांधी से पहले जो है वो है क्या? Introductory phrase which must be given with a comma or semicolon. So question number B, in that same question, his doctrine of ahimsa, comma, non-violence, so which is given full stop, he had used it mobilizing. Now generally when we talk about use, it carries with not for, to, used to do that, used to mobilize, used it to mobilizing or used to mobilizing, right? Your statement could be correct if you use the proper word, word used to Generally, he used to do that. Today हम कहते हैं he used for doing, right? So you can say that he is used for doing it. He is used for doing it. दोनों में difference क्या है? He used to do का मतलब होता है used to is used as a modal verb. He is used. यहाँ पे use कहाँ पे हुआ? Is के बाद use. तो जो कि main verb है और उसके बाद आप to लगाओ या for लगाओ. Right, the verb will carry ing form. It is used for mobilizing. Right. So यहाँ पे क्या होना चाहिए? He is used to mobilize. Got my point? You confuse everything. Now on यहाँ पे confuse. Used. He had used it to mobilize. क्योंकि to के बाद verb one होता है. हाँ तो जब his doctor and का मतलब influence, his influence of ahimsa, non-violence, he had used it to mobilize. He had used it to मतलब वो सारी चीज को वो क्या कर रहा है? Gather कर रहा है. That is what idea it says. Okay. Coming to the next one, the question number 3. See, the masses of India. So am I clear with it? The masses of India to drive England from the subcontinent with क्या होना चाहिए? आंसर यहाँ पे क्या होगा? नहीं आप ऑप्शन सी में क्या आंसर क्या करेक्शन होगा? The masses of India to drive England from the subcontinent with the moral crusade. What is the explanation given that you can give, and how do you find out that option is wrong? What is the error in the scheme? It seems like you have already done this handle. No? Then how did you draw to the option? Because option B is also there, C, D, E, isn't it? A में तो option है ना, तो आपने B को क्यों choose किया? Why not you go for value? So the idea is called as a generally compound noun carries with the articles, right? And can you identify the compound noun? The noun is called as a crusade. What kind of a crusade? Moral crusade. Moral crusade is a compound noun, right? And in that case, you need to use the word called as a moral crusade. So the idea should be the masses of India to drive England from the subcontinent with the moral crusade, right? एक subcontinent के साथ एक moral crusade है, right? So do not jump with the kind of an answer if you have. Then that will be nothing but a biased one. So answer should be what? Option B. I just asked him. Okay. Coming to the question number 16. The question number 16. Can anyone tell me the answer of this? So pehla look into it. Since everyone calls it the Big Bang. Look at the grammatical error. Since everyone calls it the Big Bang, many books caution us not to think of it as an explosion in the conventional sense. Now, when you observe this sentence, right? Do you find out any error in this sentence? Yes. Why or how? Now, it is stated since everyone calls it the Big Bang. कोई एक चीज को हर कोई क्या बोल रहा है? बिग बैंग बोल रहा है. Many books caution us not to think of it. तो यहाँ पे दो sentences हो गए. एक sentence में कहा जा रहा है कि everyone calls it the Big Bang. So second में कहा जा रहा है many books caution us not to think of it. So इन दोनों में एक क्या होना चाहिए? Contrast होना चाहिए. So it is wrong to use just beginning with the since because it does not make any contrast. आप अगर ऐसे कहोगे जैसे हिंदी में कहा जाता है कि हर कोई इसे बिग बैंग कहता है, लेकिन बहुत सारे लोग बोलते हैं कि इसको सोचे ना. Isn't it? Now there is a contrast or not? समझ में आया? हर कोई कहता है ये बिग बैंग का थ्योरी है, ठीक है, लेकिन लेकिन का मतलब क्या, बट ना, सो लेकिन मींस यू शुड नॉट थिंक अबाउट what my point, where did that word leaking or but, although, though, yet, however get used for? Is it used in that sentence? No. So where we supposed to use it? Now the question is that where do we supposed to use it? We suppose there जहाँ पे conjunction लगाया गया होगा, कहाँ पे conjunction लगाया गया है? Since, isn't it? Conjunction वहाँ पे लगाया गया है, तो उसको change करना है. What do we do? Then since को हटा के क्या use करें? Although. क्यों although? Why not we use but? Why not we use though? Why not we use yet? Because they use in the middle of the sentence, right? तो हम उसको middle में क्यों नहीं use कर सकते? Because you are changing the first form. Then change the first form with the although, right or not? Although को change करो, right? तो अगर वहाँ पे although का option नहीं होता, then you can go for the middle one, isn't it? Go with the logic, right? Next one is what? Next one is called as a question option B. It was rather a sudden explosion. It was rather a vast sudden explosion. Please observe that how it is written. Vast. What kind of explosion? You say an explosion. Now you also say that a vast explosion. You also say that a rather explosion. Isn't it? Then not only a vast sudden explosion on a hooping scale. So hooping scale is nothing but a compound noun. Like वहाँ पे आपने moral crusade को amoral crusade कहा, right? यहाँ पे भी वही a hooping scale होना चाहिए. क्यों होना चाहिए? क्योंकि उससे पहले आपने ये point out किया a vast sudden explosion on a hooping scale. Got my point? If it is written hooping scales, then you can't use a. But it is written on hooping scale, a particular medium, a writing medium, isn't it? समझ में आ रहा है? चलो आप और कुछ इधर लो.
Yes, sir.
हाँ. So now in that case A and B are wrong. C, D में गलत है. So what caused it? We don't find out any error. D doesn't have any error. E में क्या गलत है? If you observe that ours is just one in a eternal cycle of expanding and collapsing universe. No, it should be what? Ours is just one of, not in. Because something belongs to, something not inside. Right? So that is why we can consider A, B and D. These three are wrong. Right? Option G. Come to the question number 17. Can anyone tell me the answer of this?
C.
So we can find out C. Yes, he obtained a loan from the bank to build a home or a house, right? But cannot be called as a home, right? Got my point? Because a house is built up, brick and stone, whereas a home is nothing but built with a love and relationship, right? So option C. Got the point? Yes. Sentence C, however much I tried, I could not drive home the one. So it indicates that whatever the reason, but I could not find out or lost myself to reach home, right, or to get to. That is what it is. Okay. Question number 18. Yes. Okay, you are giving the answer. So had I been in your place, I would have grabbed at the opportunity. So grab is nothing but a transitive verb that generally doesn't carry prepositions. So in that case, it should be grabbed the opportunity. So I think you got into a kind of a same question. Question number 4 में question number 17 में हो गया. समझ में आया तो? See, simple cheese is what? That something but the option C carries A, which is a major error. Right. You can't think of option D because it is stated I could not drive home the point. Right. So I could not, I lost myself, you can say. But option C is called as to build a home grammatical error. Right. Okay. So 18 number question should be grabbed with the opportunity. Question number 19. You would have scored good marks if you had what the little other. A little other. Because when we talk about a little is nothing but some. Right? अगर आप थोड़ा सा मेहनत करते तो आप पास हो जाते. लेकिन little का मतलब no. You did not work hard. You did not pass. Right? But the statement said what? You would have scored good marks. Okay, question number, so यहाँ पे you would find out which one will be the answer. If you had worked a little, harder. Yeah, option D. Let me take you to the question. Means each is the subject of the sentence. In that case, the verb should be singular. Right? Each of the suspected men was thoroughly interrogated or thoroughly interrogated. Isn't it? Instead of where, we are supposed to use was, the region behind is subject each. Option 2, the police finally managed to get through the truth. No, it is not get to, it should be get at the truth. Right. Get at means called as arrive. Right. Get at means called as to arrive or reach the truth. Understood? Whereas get to is the wrong one. Doesn't fit in the sentence. Okay, coming to the one the closed test. Yeah, obviously it should be. Yeah, get, but it doesn't say get the truth का मतलब क्या? Truth like में एक दीवार है या घर है, get at home or get home. No ना? It's indicating that you reach the truth. मतलब reach कैसे? आपने कुछ किया होगा, सर्च किया, इन्वेस्टिगेट किया, है कि नहीं? तो उसी के बेस पे. Okay. So coming to the next question, question number 21. So what do we find out? Today we can call or we can all identify. It is a closed test. We need to identify. So out of this identify, locate, simulate and imagine, we find out identify will be appropriate. So आज के ज़माने में हर कोई identify easily identify कर देता है. That's called as the famous landmark score. Right. So such as the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Taj Mahal of the Grand Canyon, without ever having visited them. Thanks primarily to photography, an art form and means of dance communication. What kind of a communication? Digital communication. Is it a visual communication? No, it should be digital. Okay, photography is given, so that's why it's a visual, right? Visual communication. So photography is so that's in our society that it is difficult to imagine. Pervasive. Pervasive means called as a present everywhere. Photography is present everywhere. No, that is why somebody clicks the photo and send it in a WhatsApp status. You identify that whether he is in Kulu or a Delhi. Or in a Bhubaneswar. So, yes.
So, 22nd, they were visiting them, right? So, digitally transfer over. So, it will be digital.
Visual means you see it, you know.
After the art.
An art form, it is an art form and means of visual communication. So, when you say that visual communication, so communication का medium क्या होता है? Verbal and non-verbal. वर्बल में आप लिखते हो, बोलते हो, एंड नॉन वर्बल में आप जो देखते हो उसी से कम्युनिकेट करते हो ना. Visual communication, right? Means somebody, means when you see something, then only you identify what this is. That makes a communication to you. Is it? So, and another thing is called as a pervasive. Pervasive का मतलब क्या है? Photography present everywhere, right? If you talk about prominent, right? So what does the word prominent fit in the sentence? Photography is what? You said prominent. फोटोग्राफी प्रोमिनेंट किसके लिए होगा ना उसी के लिए होगा जो फोटो खींच रहा है अच्छा खासा क्वालिटी है तो आप फोटोग्राफी पिक्चर को प्रोमिनेंट कह सकते हो लेकिन फोटोग्राफी क्या है प्रेजेंट एवरीवेयर क्यों प्रेजेंट एवरीवेयर है ना बिकॉज़ यू आर सेइंग दैट people can easily communicate with it. Why do we and how do people communicate with? Ask yourself because of its prominence or because of its presence everywhere.
But it has mentioned in our society that it is hard to imagine a time when it didn't
It does not exist because it is present everywhere. In a
nowadays it is prominent.
see, this is something called as prominent. आप इसलिए कह सकते हो जो नीश को कहता है कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है राइट सो बहुत क्वालिटेटिव है बट जब आप ये कह रहे हो कि कोई चीज पास्ट में प्रेजेंट नहीं था आज सारे जगह पे प्रेजेंट है that is the reason you are considering that it is a one of the what kind of a communication visual communication that is the reason you can identify famous landmarks right हर जगह पे प्रेजेंट है इसीलिए तो क्या आप आराम से आइडेंटिफाई कर पाते हैं ना है कि नहीं आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट सो say I'm not forcing you to understand I'm stating you that what means understand how it is done right because your statement is not only contained with the what you did your statement is contained with the statement which is given above it is it saying 6 o'clock now 10 minutes left now. Okay, I will just give you some of the four answers. Okay. So am I clear with this? Digital probation. Next 24. Is it A? Okay, very good. 25. It should be D. That is 25.
Sir, B1, 25.
Okay, let's see that. What does it say? If I talk about a who have heard, it's a paragraph question, right? It says that who have heard everything from a long distance telephone network, right? Now who कहाँ पे use होता है? Can you say that who refers to whom? Who किसको refer करेगा? People को? तो देखो कहाँ पे last में people लिखा गया है? So who have heard everything from a long distance telephone network. So when you read the or learn the grammar book, you understand that how grammar helps you. Noun, pronoun, relationship. What are the what is relative pronoun? Now here if you say, if I don't know how to arrange the sentences, what are you supposed to do? Just go to the first one. It is stated that who have heard everything from a long distance telephone network. So we said, and this comes as a surprise to people. Right? People who have heard everything from a long distance telephone network. Now, did you find out how B and A makes a pair?
Yes.
Isn't it? Now, in that case, B and A is a pair. Okay, actually, I give you D.
It should be C.
So, B and A is a pair. Now, after that, you find out C and D. To the internet described as a data superhighway, the information highway does not exist physically. Yeah. So, if I talk about that, how do you draw that the information highway does not exist physically and after that to the internet described as a data superhighway? You start with that what? The data or the internet described as a data superhighway. So, you have just introduced superhighway. What is superhighway? Superhighway is nothing but describing as the internet. इंटरनेट को सुपरहाईवे के हिसाब से डिस्कस किया गया है, राइट? तो उसको और एलाबोरेट करने के लिए हमने ऑप्शन बी को देखा, द इंफॉर्मेशन हाईवे डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट फिजिकली. तो एंड दिस कम्स एज अ सरप्राइज टू पीपल. What comes to surprise as a people? कि information highway does not exist physically, right? So now you understood. समझ में आया कैसे हुआ? आप अगर ऑप्शन बी एंड डी को देखोगे, डी बोल रहा है कि इंफॉर्मेशन हाईवे डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट फिजिकली, एंड यही वो चीज है जो कि लोगों को सरप्राइज क्रिएट करवाती है, राइट और नॉट? एंड हु हैव हर्ड एवरीथिंग फ्रॉम अ लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस टेलीफोन नेटवर्क, जो सिर्फ टेलीफोन नेटवर्क के बारे में जानते थे, लेकिन उसके बाद उनको लगा कि इंटरनेट भी है which is a long distance, isn't it? So on the basis of that, how do you draw? You come with the C, right? Then D, then EA is the pair. Confused again? आप मुझे एक बात बताइए, आपने D को राइट इसके साथ कनेक्ट किया ना? सरप्राइज है किसके लिए? लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस बी के लिए, राइट? The information highway does not exist physically, and this comes as a surprise to people. Find D and B का यहाँ पे एक पेयर हुआ, ठीक है? लेकिन ये जो इंफॉर्मेशन हाईवे है, ये आया कहाँ से? सुपर हाईवे को रेफर कर रहा है, राइट? सो इन दैट केस सी डी होना चाहिए. सी सुपर हाईवे को बोल रहा है, डी सुपर हाईवे को रेफर कर रहा है कि ये एक इंफॉर्मेशन हाईवे है दैट डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट फिजिकली. सुपर हाईवे इज द इंफॉर्मेशन हाईवे. सुपर हाईवे इज द इंफॉर्मेशन हाईवे that does not exist physically, and that makes surprise to people, right? So who have heard nothing of what means this information. They only know about telephone network. Am I clear? Now that's what is called as an interesting part in the jumble sentences. How would means? Do you find out the logic or not? You find out the logic. So, but remember that parajumble is not concerned with the introductory sentence or concluding sentence. It is taken from the middle of the text, right? So in that case, it may begin with the to or it may begin with the from. But यहाँ पे एक चीज है, आप लॉजिक को यूज कैसे लिखिए? आप ये सोचिए, आपने ये कहा कि to से कैसे शुरू हो? ये क्यों नहीं सोचा कि यहाँ पे सुपर हाईवे किसको रेफर कर रहा है? राइट? इंटरनेट को ही रेफर करेगा ना. एंड यहाँ पे ए एंड बी को अगर देखा जाए, ए क्या बोल रहा है कि लोगों को टेलीफोन नेटवर्क के बारे में पता था, लेकिन लोगों को इंटरनेट के बारे में पता था. पहले टेलीफोन आया, पहले इंटरनेट आया. टेलीफोन आया था तो पीपल डू नॉट नो अबाउट द इंटरनेट, सो दे फील सरप्राइज्ड टू इट. गॉट माय पॉइंट? सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 36. अभी इसका बताइए जंबल सेंटेंस. It should be 3, then after 5, then 2, 1 and 4. Is it? So यहाँ पे कैसे करेक्ट हो गया? Now you find out that यहाँ पे आप देखोगे 8,800 querying this demand. Querying this demand मतलब 8,000 tons. Isn't it in future? 800 is happening now. So understood? So present का 800 हो रहा है, जो कि फुलफिल हो रहा है, लेकिन एक्सपर्ट कह रहे हैं कि 8,000 टन चाहिए. तो querying this demand means 8,000 tons demand in future. What do you need to do? Agree? So therefore we can consider the answer would be 35214. Correct? Bingo? All? Okay, great. So have you done 27? 27 will be 1. Is it? Yeah, obviously, because it is a para completion question. If you look at the last sentence, which is incomplete, it is stated that fungus age, right, not like plant, but at the same time, it makes a contrast by saying that ये plant जैसा नहीं है, लेकिन grow directly on their food source like plant roots. Isn't it? Yes. Like plant roots, which is given in option A, right? So in Uganda, almost the only plant-like quality they have is that they root से grow कर रहा है, लेकिन plant और fungus में कोई comparison नहीं है. Only one thing is that is called as root. Okay, have you done 28? So 28 is indicating about what? Allergy, then after sunnate, oat, and trident prejudice. So you would find out the last one is the odd one out. Why? Because allergy is a point, allergy is a type of the point, sunnate is a type of the point, and oat is a type of the point. Trident prejudice is a logo, right? So we can consider allergy is a sad song, ELEGY. Allergy is a sad song, right? So you can say a poem of lamentation. No, lamentation का मतलब रोना धोना करना, किसी को याद करना, right? So Shakespeare was the most famous exponent of the sonnet. Sonnet is a 14-line poem, right? 8 lines, or you can say 3 quatrains to 1 couplet, right? Then option C, Shelley's Skylark is an ode. Ode is a song, even William Wordsworth, right? John Keats. So, and Pride and Prejudice, which is written by Jane Austen, it is a novel, right? So 29, have you done that? Okay, 29, can we say option 3? Look into it. Yeah, because the last line gives you the idea, achieving an economy with the more egalitarian outcomes. Look at the last one. Achieving an economy with more egalitarian. Egalitarian means equality, right? Egalitarian outcomes will require different political choices, right? It means called as disparate political choices and what economic policies. So these are the main points. So without this disparate political choices and economic policies, right, you cannot move forward towards achieving the egalitarian. No, option 2 is called as framing different rules, right? So framing different rules to govern labor, housing, and financial. Generally, summary doesn't contain examples. Please do understand the rules. So option 2 is eliminated because it contains examples. Summary doesn't contain examples. Isn't it? Summary should be short, concise, and based on the main idea. Right? Main idea, not on the basis of the methods. Yes. Here. It is written now. It is stated different political choices and economic policies which will require that to include different rules to govern labor, housing, and financial life. It is stated economy with more egalitarian outcomes. Achieving an economy with more egalitarian outcomes will require these outcomes. तो आप इसको लिखोगे नहीं, that's called as govern labor, housing, financial markets, Don't worry guys, so we will discuss the anatomically manageable question or man out question specifically on our different classes. And another thing is called as I'll tell you all the rules and tricks and strategy how you handle it, right? So it is after knowing all these things, your job is to what? Your job is to practice those rules regularly, right? Isn't it? So okay, 30 is 29 is done now. Last one 30. It should be. Have you done it?
Yes, sir.
31 to 35. Option? Who out too many? 31. 2. Option 2. 32. Okay, ठीक है जी. Rest of the things that you try to do. मैं बोल दूंगा तो उससे फायदा क्या है? उससे फायदा आपको होगा. बाकी जो किए नहीं है, so they will suffer and they can do at their home. Isn't it? So if you want to ask me, आपको देखते हो, पता चल जाएगा. पहले आप ये दोनों को तो कवर कीजिए, इसको भी करना है, ये और क्या नाम है, ये दोनों भी है, and it is more important. Okay, that's all for the day. Thank you.